Hello, we are from Group 12, and today we are going to talk together via podcast for the first and last time. Let us introduce ourselves. My name is Amelia Marta Helena.
I'm Benedicta Sumaydewanti.
And my name is Alexandra Nicola Denalika.
So the question that we will discuss this time is, what level of attitude, knowledge, and skill did you obtain from the first third of class? Maybe Benedicta, you can go first.
Thank you, Amel. In my opinion, the knowledge that I got during this class is a lot, ranging from understanding the weight of education in Indonesia, the basic concept of educational philosophy by Drijja Kara, type of philosophy, and to a role in a leadership. From this knowledge, I learned what things are burdensome for education in Indonesia and how we can become leaders to build better education. During the class, there was a lot sharing about the story of someone related to education who experienced various difficulties during the process. From this, I realized that to become a leader in education, there are indeed many obstacles and shortcomings in us. However, this should not make us resign to what is happening at this time. It is especially with our shortcoming that we should be able to become good educators. And also, during the process, we should interact a lot with other people to find experience that we can have. That's why we can see a little comparison of what develops in us before and after receiving the experience. And also, I have opinion about student learn themselves and interacting with people. Well, now we are in situation pandemic. There are certainly more applications that make it easier for us to get know people and share their various life experience, especially about the education they have experienced so far. So from here, we can see the positive side of getting to know ourselves by giving opinions from them. When we express our opinion, we can understand ourselves and know how we interact with other people and we might meet in the future. Because I have experienced it myself. I use the LeapMatch application. Do you know this application?
Yes, I know it.
Yes.
In application, we can meet many people by sharing their experience. Well, here we can see the value of education in it to be able to grow our character in knowing and interacting with other people. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, that's a really good answer, Benedicta. So, Sandra, what level of attitude, knowledge, and skill did you obtain from the first third of class?
Thank you, Amelia, for the opportunity. I will answer about the question. From my opinion, from the first until the third of class, I really like about the material is about Romo Family. Do you still remember, guys, about Romo Family? You still remember?
Yes.
Okay. Romo Panlit, but I still remember because he taught a lot about education and life. And then while being a missionary in Indonesia, and then especially in Central Java, Romo Panlit is Catholicism was more important than just immerse Catholicism. In his missionary, Romo Panlit want to spread Catholic teachings and at the same time improve the welfare of Japanese people through education. And then to start his missionary in Central Java, Romo Panlit established many education schools, especially in the around Central Java. Do you still remember?
Yes, I remember.
Okay, in Central Java, the name for school is in the Muntilan, and then this research is related to the meaningfulness category of learning and about human dimension. You still remember about human dimension? Human
Yes.
dimension. Human dimension have two questions, and then for me, for as a future teacher, I realized that being a leader in education because it's not easy for us and it's not easy for all of teacher and for you. And then I have to go through various challenges so far, such as my experiences during the online class when I study online and I see my lecturers so busy. That is when they have to teach and they have to contact students, divide their time between their health and their families, and then it is really busy. It happened during the learning process. Then I went through despite the obstacle and our flaws. However, this shouldn't make us resign to what is happening this time, and especially with our flaws. And then we should be able to become a good teacher, and also during this process, we should interact a lot with other people to learn what we can. Maybe this is the answer, and thank you. And we go to Amel. What's your opinion about the material, all of attitude, knowledge, and skill do you obtain from the first until third of class? What do you think?
Okay. So for me, the lessons I have learned so far include the improving state of education in Indonesia, their current concept of education, how the action of one person can change another, and further family concern for education in Indonesia. During class, we often discuss the struggles of figures as such as Ria Kara and Father Family who play an important role in education in Indonesia. Quoting from what Ria Kara said, namely in education and teaching, what needs to be utilized from local elements is not primarily form, but the human values contained in it. In my opinion, this is true that in education we do not only focus on form of teaching that is taught, but also the existing human values. Because when people have a high enough education but do not have human values, then the knowledge they have may be been a crime. For example, geniuses can make bombs or nuclear weapons, but how they use their findings is determined by the human values that exist within them. Nuclear, as we know, can be a treatment for thyroid or cancer, but if misused, it can also be a threat to others. In addition, in class we often discuss the heroic action of several people. My favorite is Passion at Hearts. This story is told by Isabel Allende about how a woman from Cambodia changed the local people's views of virginity. She is Somali mom. She was once sold by her grandfather to a king because it has become a normal culture among Cambodian people. However, with her bold action, Somalia took the risk to make people aware of barbarity that occurred in society, which they have called culture. I feel this is a very good thing, and awareness about sexual harassment is a wrong thing that needs to be further raised in Indonesia society. Clearly, there's a lot of harassment or rape in society. This makes me remember my personal experience when I was a junior high school student. At that time, my sister and I were about to go to a market, but on the way, there was a group of guys who came up to us and physically abused us. My sister and I could only be silent and rush away from the scene. Based on my experience and also Somalis, I realized how important education and awareness about sex is. Education is not only about social or science lessons that we learn in school, but also about human education so the unwanted things don't happen. Also, in my opinion, about what students can or should learn about themselves is what they are capable of, both in academic or non-academic fields. After they know what their passion is, then the students can start looking for any activities that match their abilities and can improve those abilities. Besides that, students need to learn how they can face the challenge that exists both in their education and in their own lives. The first thing they can do is look for their strengths and weaknesses. Another thing they have to learn is how they can believe in themselves, and that confidence only comes from themselves. If they have enough self-confidence, then they will be easier in their learning process. And last, what student can or should learn about interacting with people that they may actually encounter in the future is about always being nice and ready to learn from others. We never know what kind of people we'll meet and how the person has an impact on our lives. So the thing we have to learn in interacting with other people we meet is to be a good person. Besides that, interacting with others can help students to organize their thoughts, reflect on their understanding, and find gaps in their reasoning. They can learn something new from people they interact with. I think that is all from us. Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Mel, this study from Mr. Marcus really helped us to know much about our life to change, become a good person. And I really like about some of all of your experiences. And I think, what do you think, guys, about Romo Vandit or Driyakara? What do you think? Maybe Amel? What do you think, Amel?
I think they they really help our country to have a good uh, education. And what about you, Benedicta?
How about you, Benedicta? What do you think about the material from the first until the third? What do you think?
I think his future who should be a role for the a role for model education, a future in education.
Okay, and then I think Romo Vandit is my favorite material because he really helped us to know about the education first and then about the Catholicism because I as a Catholic and then I really like about the uh, about the change to become a good teacher, become a good personality, and he really helped us to know much about it. Maybe, thank you. Amel, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Sandra. I think that is all from us. Thank you so much for listening.